Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below. Good evening everybody and welcome along once again to Apex Online Racing. It's been months since the last season on the F1 games, but after a long wait we're here at the start of season 20 for Xbox One F1 at Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix. A track where it's hosted the opening round for the championship in real life for quite some time, except this year due to the whole COVID situation. It's been a home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. It's a circuit using the mixture of the existing roads around the city's Albert Park with a little detour throughout the Lakeside Stadium car park. Let's have a look at the track in a second, but before that we've got some information about some lap 1 incidents, including one back in 2002 where 8 cars were knocked out. So, the circuit is 5.3 kilometres long with 16 turns, 6 to the left and 10 to the right. There are 3 DRS straights, 1 at the start-finish straight, 1 between turn 2 and 3, and 1 between turn 12 and 13. Stuff to watch out for tonight is the run to turn 1. We saw last season on PC during round 8 a fantastic battle for the lead between Roy and Preshinator. Preshinator getting a better run and did a superb move on Roy to take the lead. Going back to season 18 now on this very platform where we saw Josh Idaru going side by side with Leopard, the Red Bull driver, into turns 12, 13 and 14. Don't know how they managed to keep side by side like that for a long period of time, but they did. 3 compounded tyres for today, the soft, which is the C4s, mediums, which is the C3s, and the hards, which is the C2s. And the mediums being a second slower with the hards being 1.5 seconds slower. And without further ado, we are going to go straight to the race action, which is going to be very, very exciting. But first of all, I need to turn the lovely thing down. If you just give me a second. Hopefully that's a lot better. There we go. So we've got 16 drivers today, and I thought I'd give you a rundown of who we've got on the grid this evening, just to give you a little bit of a idea about what's going on. It's still a bit loud, so apologies about that. I'll put it to 8. There we go, that's better. So, looking through the drivers for this season, we've got Humperdinck and Amazed in the Mercedes. If I just go on board with them right now, there they are. So Humperdinck keeping his Mercedes colours like last season, with Amazed going into the Williams. In the Ferrari, we have got a Big C96 and KCTVP. In the McLaren, we have Bobbett and LGS L69. Where are they? There we go. There they are. In the Renault, we have a Raven on his own. In the Alfa Romeo, we have Jonna LR66 and FIA LMC Alfa. I do apologise in advance if I do butcher your names. It's just something I'm still trying to get used to. In the Racing Point, we have AMS Tom and F1 Delta. In the Haas, did I say the Haas? I can't really remember. I put it twice. I can't remember. In the Haas, we have Alex Daegu and VRC GC. I think that's how you say it. There we go. And in the Williams, we have SSR Pikachu and Jack RT. I don't think any of the Williams are here tonight. Now we've got a few drivers in the AlphaTauri. We've got 2 reserve drivers in the AlphaTauri this week. We've got HS4K followed by, well, it's Hawk actually. And then we've got last season's champion, BGG Pancakes, also known as Jam Pancakes 44 to you and me. So, it's quite overcast here in Australia. and a brand new game to contend with, which means different situations, different handling. Some people may find the handling a little bit better than the last game, and some people may find it a little bit more tricky. But no matter what, they've got to make the best out of this situation. So the pole time expected today will be in the 119s, 118s today, as Bobbert has already set the benchmark time with a 119.4. Now I'm going to see if I can ride on board with someone to go on a hot lap. Now, expect the softs to drop off quite a bit around this track, but if the track is like this, then the tyres will be a lot colder and will suffer from less heat. So some of the drivers are gonna hope that, so they can go on the soft for a bit longer. The softs can last up to around about 12 laps, so that is what all the things can do. So right on board with the Haas actually. A few of these guys are very new to Xbox One Tier 1. Some of them have been promoted from F2, and some people are completely new drivers to the AOR fold and want to make a name for themselves, really. So we will have to wait and see if they can handle the pressures. Alex is warming his tyres up, ready to start this league. Now let us know your predictions for pole position here tonight. It'll be interesting to find out what you think of what's going on. So let's go on board with the Haas driver as he makes his way towards the final corner. So you're about to approach turn 1, and it's the first braking zone of this lap. Hit the brakes at just about the 100 metre board on the left hand side of the track and aim to cut the inside curb. The exit of turn 1 and turn 2 itself is quite tricky, and now you're going to go to this DRS straight here, which I need to enable the telemetry shortly after the 100 metre board. You're going to swing to the left hand side as far as you can to open the line for 4, and then going into turn 5. Once again, you need to swing along the track to prepare for the next corner, which is turn 6 and 7. And then you're going to be cutting the inside curve, which is about half the car. And then you're going to be going into turn 9 and turns 10 now, which follows a similar format. Now, this is a really long back straight here. This is where we could see potentially quite a few overtakes. And don't forget, no assists are allowed in this week. No assists at all. And you're now going to go through turns 11 and 12. Now, on turn 12 is where we've seen quite a few instances in some leagues in the past. You just briefly touch it just about the 50 metre board there. And then going into turn 14, speed down to around about 92 miles per hour. And you're going to go towards turn 15 and turn 16. You want to take the car as far to the outside of the track as you possibly can. Gently increase your throttle. And there is a lap around this circuit. And it is a 120.3, which puts him in P2 for now. So not a bad lap time for the Haas driver. But again, it's people's benchmark times that some of these guys have got to get used to. So this is just something to watch out for here. So one thing that they added on this game is the introduction. Well, they didn't add on this game, but they fully improved on this game is the ERS system. There were a few complaints that there were too many ERS changes on F1 2019, and for some reasons I've got to agree on that, but towards the end of the game I actually kind of liked it in a way because I found it quite fun. As Scory Raw in the Williams, I do believe he's reserving tonight from one of them, is just coming second there with a 119.7. But yeah, I mean, you only got to change a few things with the ERS management this season. In qualifying, you have 0 and hot lap. That's it. You don't have all these random other ERS buttons in between, which is all right, really. But that means on your hot lap, you've got to make sure you manage your deployment limit quite easily. Maybe use a bit of lift and coast potentially as well. And in the race, they don't have many ERS modes managed at all. All they got to do is this green overtake button, which you can find onto the left of the telemetry, as you can see. And they press it, and we'll see in the race actually the green bar go all the way down to the left if they're using it too much. And then if you use it too much, that's when your ERS battery can drain and you start to lose a lot of power. So that is what these drivers have got to get used to. And I found on my first few laps on the game, that I realised that I left it on, and I realised I wasn't gaining as much power on the straights. So yeah, let's hope these guys do not make a mistake today. There's quite a few people actually has just invalidated their lap time. So, you know, that's something to watch out for. And it is known for its corner validations, of course. I mean, you know, it's known to do that, as I do believe Hawk is going out for another lap in the AlphaTauri. So with 8 minutes left to go, the track is starting to improve with a little bit of sunlight on there as well, which means tyre temperature's a bit hotter at the moment, so they've got to manage it a bit more. They don't want to push too much on their opening few laps because they want to have enough tyres for the race and for the final part of qualifying, and they really want to be going towards the end of qualifying, just so that is where the track is at the most evolved around these certain elements of the track. So let's see what Alfo's doing, as he hasn't set a lap time yet, unfortunately, but he's still getting used to the feel of the car at the moment. So a bit of a mixed bag. Some people may opt for something else. Now, I'm not in the chats on Twitter at the moment, so usually I can have a really good idea of what the weather is by the reactions in the chats of the Xbox One Tier 1 chat, but I probably will be added at the end of this. But I don't get that today, so I'm being at a huge surprise here. But what I've noticed actually was everyone has opted for the soft compounder tyres, and not many people has gone for the mediums or the hards as of yet. But I know the softs is the fastest tyre to be on. If you start on the mediums, you'll have to, it is a slower tyre. And if you start on the hards, then you're just going to find it hard to warm your tyre temperatures. So probably starting on the softs would be the best option anyway. However, I thought people would set banker laps on the mediums. That's what I would have done. So that may give me an indication that it could rain towards the end of the race, or even the start of the race actually. They could be going on into the intermediate hard or even the full wets. Imagine the first race in Xbox One F1 for season 20 and we get rain. We didn't get much. Actually, we did get quite a few rain showers last season, and it made things interesting, one of which was Canada, I believe, and then we had Japan as well. China was a bit of a mixed conditions as well for the drivers, so we're just watching out for those tracks. In a few moments' time, actually, I will go through the calendar that these drivers will be facing today, as Humperdinck is now going to go past turn 12 then, as he just invalidated his lap as well. So that is not clever at the moment. So in real life, though, the commentators were talking about the use of engine modes, and they're not allowed to go party mode in real life. Obviously, they have these engine modes in the game. They've got lean, standard, and rich. I would kind of call rich as max as party mode. So obviously, they have max in qualifying, but they don't have max in the race. I wonder if it will be changed on F1 2021. I know it's a bit too early to think about the new game yet, but you know, I wonder if it's going to make a difference to these guys about managing the fuel loads in qualifying. But obviously you would go on hot lap mode, max mode in qualifying, so otherwise you're going to lose so much time. But you've got to be careful to not to run out of fuel at the moment, as Delta comes across the line now to start his lap as well. A few interesting people going out their next laps now. They're not going to leave enough time to go into the pit lane, which is going to be interesting. Thank you very much to one of our drivers in the chat, LGS. Thank you very much. He has just told me from inside sources that there's going to be rain at the end of the race. I did say that there could be a hint of rain around this track, and I do believe, unfortunately I didn't stream Australia last season because my internet died, so I literally couldn't go on Xbox or anything like that, and Xbox just didn't like me, and it had rain in there as well, so it may be as Delta spun into turn 9 as he clipped the wall. I don't think he's got damage there, so he should be absolutely fine about that. So, you know, that is a bit, yeah, he should be fine, but his tyres are not going to be good. So if I was him, I would go straight to the pits and then he'd have more time to set a final lap when the track is really evolving and he's invalidated the lap anyway. So what would this change in terms of strategy? I will talk a little bit more about this later on when we go to the formation laps. We have the lovely AWS graphics coming to our streams in AOR. I've done it quite a few times for other leagues, but not to the extent on this league. So this is actually the first Xbox race I've actually commentated on this game. I usually commentate on Xbox races before, but this is the first time I've actually commentated on Xbox. So obviously there's no Oceania League this season for Xbox or even PC or PS4, which is a bit of a shame, but it means I get my Sunday morning Lions, which is at least a good thing. And interestingly enough, Casey is running number 97, the one where New Zealand Ryan actually ran the Ferrari last season in Oceania, and he went on to take the title. So could this be a sign of things to come, potentially? You know, we could see some surprises. We did see some surprises in real life. I'm not going to spoil the race for those of you that haven't watched it, but in real life. But for those of you that haven't, you can watch on catch up. It was an absolute brilliant race. I do recommend you watch it back. It was fantastic. Now, Casey, I think, is about to start his next lap. With 2 minutes to go, a few people are going into the pits. It is now heading towards crunch time now. It is calm before the storm for these drivers to really set the best lap time they can. Is when the drivers will be on the most fuel as well. So, JJ Rocks has retired from the session. So, I think there was a few drivers I missed from the list. From the driver list. So, apologies about that, but JJ Rocks might be in a reserve, I don't know, but JJ Rocks is racing in the McLaren anyway, or something. No, he's not. Oh, he's in the Renault. He might be in the Renault actually, replacing Raven. I don't know. Or he might have dropped in last minute. I'm not sure. I don't know why I haven't got JJ Rocks' name on my spreadsheet, but that is something I'll get fixed for next week. And some people saying times are not looking quick at the moment. I think people are just holding back at the moment. This is a mixed, well, to be honest, it's not the tier 1 you would have grown to expect from seasons gone in. Remember, season 16 in Xbox One F1, the whole grid was separated by just over a second. And it was really crazy. I managed, I think I commentated on one race. Actually, no, I didn't. I think I didn't commentate on any in season 16. I think I commentated in F2, but I was watching it back straight after F2, and it was just amazing to watch. But due to the fact that there are less tiers in this platform now, which is a bit of a shame, but I give credit to all the guys that have signed up for Xbox. I mean, it's showing that it's still alive and kicking in some way, and these guys have showing now, and they're going to have a little bit of fun, as AMS Tom is now top of the timing sheets right now. So there's only, I believe, 4 tiers in Xbox One now, compared to, I think, 6 or 7 last season. So that means quite a few people you may expect to be in F2 and F3, maybe in F1, due to the fact there is less drivers. And obviously, I think only the top 2 tiers are no line. So, and quite a lot of people have chosen to go line this season. So that is why potentially also we only have got 16 drivers for F1 this season. So that's to be expected. But hopefully as the season goes on, as Jonna goes P6, that's pretty good. But hopefully as the season goes on, when more people turn the line up, they'll get quicker and they'll potentially go to this tier. And hopefully we will get 4 grids, maybe. We live and pray. As we've got Delta that's about to start his final lap of the session. As there's a few other guys as well. There's Amazing just retired from the session. Alex Dacre's invalidated. We got a yellow flag. That is a Ferrari. Oh, Ferrari spun quite a bit. That's either Big Z or KC, actually. Whereas one Ferrari goes to the pits, actually. But LGS, one of the McLarens, comes towards the line, and he's not going to improve on his time. That puts him in P9. Jonah can't improve on his lap time either. Scurry, again, sorry I butchered your name, is just invalidated. So has SSR Roberts as well. So I don't think that many people are going to improve on their lap times at the moment. I'm just seeing Pancakes is on his out lap still. probably glitched for me, really. A 120.7, so that only puts him in P13. Hawk, what about him as he goes towards turn 13? I think he's the only one that could improve. And Humperdinck as well. Maybe Delta in the Racing Point. I almost called him Forcing. I'm glad we get to see the AlphaTauris in this race, because the AlphaTauris weren't originally in the driver list, but yeah. So Delta comes across the line now. Can he get into the 119s? No, he can't, but Hawk can. Hawk done a brilliant lap with a 119.3, which puts him in P2 at the moment. So on a pole position is AMS Tom in the Racing Point. So there was some speculation in real life that the Racing Point are copying the Mercedes, but I wonder if it's exactly the same here. Only joking, they're on equal cars in this game. Of course they won't. So, yeah, that is really, really impressive for the Racing Point driver. And just to let you know also, they've dropped the allegations, I think, as well, about the brake ducts. Let us know what you think about that. But I think we're just waiting for Pancakes to... I think Pancakes has just glitched time for me. That is very, very weird, but that puts him in P15 anyway, so he does not improve on his lap time either way. So we are about to go through the qualifying results as AMS Tom is in pole position with Hawk in second, Jonah in third, Humperdinck in fourth, Bobbert in fifth, Scurrier in sixth, F1 Delta in seventh, FIA LMC Alvio in eighth, I normally call it VSR, sorry. VRC GC in 9th, Alex in 10th. Then we got LGS, KC, Big Z, JJ Rocks, Pancakes, and Amazed. So, you know, we've had a very close qualifying session so far, and it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on who you think is going to be the cream of the crop in this race. There's quite a few new names at the top. Jam Pancake, last season champion, not doing quite so well. Maybe he's not used to the new game as much as some of the other drivers. And we've seen that in other tiers, actually, where some drivers who are pretty much OP in let's say, F1 2020, F1 2018, or F1 2019, may not be as good as we would have seen fit, really, to be honest. So that is something to consider. It'll be nice to see a new name at the top of the standings, and I hope that the championship gets even closer as the season goes on, but we will only find out as we get into the race. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Hype Energy, and also thanks to Elgato as well, who provide our lovely capture cards, our stream decks, stuff like that. So I strongly recommend you check those out. And also, we're sponsored by GT Amiga Racing, that provide these lovely rigs for us as well. So thank you very much. And as you can see, we're riding on board with one of the Brawn cars in 2009, where Jenson Button took his first win there, and it was actually his first win in the Brawn. We thought that the Honda cars, their careers were in turmoil, but he completely turned it around on the first few days of testing. They absolutely shone, and it was absolutely incredible. So we could see the same situations here. So we're looking at the tyre choices for these drivers today, and I'm quite shocked to see some of the choices here today. So we have got, obviously, the top 10 will have to start on the tyres that they set their fastest lap on, which is the soft compounded tyres. Everyone outside the top 10 do have free choice of tyres, and it's a mixture of tyres, actually, for some of these guys. So we've got LGS on the hards, and Big Z on the hards too, and Amazed on the hards as well. And they're playing the long game. They're going to probably try and take the hard tyres as long as they possibly can, of course. But don't forget, as said by LGS in the chat, there is going to be a threat of rain in the race, and yeah, something to watch out for. And to be honest, if Big Z and Amaze time this right, we could be on for something interesting. And this is the strategy that's just popped up. Soft to hard will pit around laps 9 to 11, and then there's also a 2-stop option should they require it. Soft mediums, but we'll see actually if the rain falls hard enough for, you know, the drivers to actually even pit on the intermediate tyres. I was racing in France on a league last season, and I was quite shocked that the rain didn't come quick enough. It was too late for us to pit, and we didn't end up pitting in the end. So, but some of us actually struggled, and I think there was 2 league races in France where I actually did that. So, yeah, that was interesting. I do league race from time to time, but not as much. That is why I'm in the commentary box. So, let us know your thoughts in the chat, who you think is going to win this race, as the 5 red lights are about to begin, as we are about to begin Season 20 of Xbox One F1. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as much as I am at the moment, as we're waiting for Maze to... Maze is going really slowly on the formation lap. Normally, if you're that slow, you probably may get told off by the stewards or something, but I'm guessing he's warming his tyres up now. They do get a bit colder, these hard tyres, on this game, and they do need to be watching the tyre wear screen a bit more to see, to try and get those heat into those tyres, because if you get cold tyres going into turn 1, you're going to be ending up spinning quite a lot. So I think Amaze has gone for a smarter option here, but we'll see. But the other drivers are going to be on cold tyres anyway, so hopefully these drivers won't benefit will benefit from that. Anyway, the 5 red lights are on, and it is lights out, and away we go for the first race of Season 20. Looks like a pretty decent start for the Alphas. We've got, I think, the racing point dropped a little bit. I didn't see which Alpha. It was Jonah, actually, that leads the race from AMS Tom in P2. We got one of McLeod's in P3. Let's see if everyone's made it clean through turn 1. Looks like it so far, as they all make it through turn 4 now, heading in towards the really tricky turn 5. You got to make sure you avoid the bumps as you possibly can as well. Bobbitt having a great start as well. We got a yellow flag. Delta is already out of the race, and there was a huge pile up front, and we got a virtual safety car due to it. I thought we would only get a safety car, but obviously not. So Delta's race is over before it's even begun, and I think a Ferrari was involved as well. That might have been KCTPP, and his end plate has just gone there as well, so he's going to lose a little bit of downforce as well. As we're getting quite a few penalties actually for ignoring yellow flags. It may get removed if it's not, but I'm guessing they may need to slow down. Meanwhile, the green flags are waving as Roberts is trying to do exactly the same to what Leopard and Surprise in a few seasons ago. Both him and VRC going side by side, heading into turn 14, 15, and going on into turn 16. Roberts doing very nicely there, trying to defend. Hawk getting past VRC 2 in a 2P5, but is VRC going to challenge him going towards the start finish straight here? He's gaining, he's got the overtake. Well, he hasn't even got the overtake button on, so I think he's trying to save as much ERS as he possibly can as they all go into lap 2. Let's see as VRC goes to the right hand side of the circuit. He made contact just a little bit. Luckily, when you spin, you do get ghosted, so luckily the drivers did not get much damage apart from him. But we got FIA and Casey going to the pit, so it was LMC that got caught up actually, and one of the Alphas and KC. So Casey, I think, did the right thing going on to the hards because he can see the long game here. But according to my strategy notes, the hards can last 22 laps, so it is doable. He's just gonna hope that the rain is gonna come a lot sooner than the game has predicted. Meanwhile, at the front, Jonah still leads from AMS Tom by 5/10 of a second. Meanwhile, Scary gets past Alex quite convincingly, actually, into B6. We do see, wow, that was a shunt as JJ Rocks has retired. He made contact, I think, with Pancakes as well, potentially. I didn't quite see the what happened, so I'm not going to judge too much on it, but that was pretty much a weird place to retire, I've got to say, but that's both of their races done and dusted. So, well, JJ Box's race, luckily BGG Pancakes is still going, and he is going to pit almost certainly to the hard tyres, and we've got another VSC. So most of the guys who were involved in these collisions are going to pit, change their front wing, and try and get as far into the race as they possibly can. But for JJ Rocks, it is game over, which is a bit of a shame for his first race in the top tier, but you know, there's still 21 more races to go after this one, because don't forget we've got the new tracks as well with Zandvoort and Vietnam being the first new track, which is in round 3. Has we got another yellow flag, as I think KC has spun and damaged his front wing. I'm not quite sure where he has done that. He damaged that quite badly there. But here comes LMC Alpha out of the pit lane. That must have been a long pit stop. Did he pit twice? Let me just have a look. Yeah, he did pit twice, so he must have got involved in the collision once again, as I think Casey is going to try and limp home, really, into the pit lane, which is going to be quite difficult. And, yeah, as LMC Alpha has got past him with a cleaner front wing. So, who has been the biggest gainers so far this race? So, we've got Tom, that's dropped down 1 position, but he's 2 tenths behind Jonah. He's going to take and at the right-hand side here into turn 3 and 4, and he does it. Tom retakes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. But don't forget, we've still got Roberts, who is looking to respond if any of those two make a mistake, just like Lance Stroll did earlier. He was sitting at the back of Gasly and Sainz, and if any of those two made a mistake, Lance would have pounced. So Roberts is just waiting his time at the moment, which is a brave thing to do, and he could save his ERS in the process. And we got another yellow flag. That's probably one of the Ferraris that spinned it again, which was KC. So yeah, so is he going to go into the pit lane? Hopefully he does. I have a feeling he's going to get lapped though, so that is a bit of a shame, getting lapped already in this race. But you know, hopefully these guys move out the way, as KC is going to get a blue flag pretty soon, as Thomas pulled away the gap between Jonah and SSR Robertson to around about a second, almost. So he's going to do quite well getting that move. I think he was held up by those two guys, but luckily he got ahead. He's able to set a fastest lap, just like that one, actually, which is brilliant to see. Now, Roberts does have advantage of DRS, but so does Jonah, though. Jonah is going to be having advantage, and you don't really want to be stuck in DRS trains around this circuit, because DRS is OP only if the driver in front does not have it. But if the driver in front has it, then it could cost you, especially around Monza as well, which we'll be going to pretty much later on in the season. Let's see if there's any other battles happening up front. We've got a little bit of gaps happening further behind, but we've got Amaze, who is chasing down Bigsy for P6. He's gained 9 positions, so Amaze having a really good start, still managing to keep those hard tyres in attack. Did not get involved in too many incidents. I do believe he got a 5-second penalty though earlier for avoiding yellow flags, and Humperdinck also, I think, got that penalty. Actually, no, he didn't. He did not get that time penalty, but he is chasing down a few positions. He's dropped down 4. Bigsy has gained 7. LGS also having another good start to the race as well. The first time I actually commentated on this driver was in the F2 days back in season 15, and then in season 16, and then a few seasons later after that in season 18. I think in the middle of season 18 he then got moved to F1, or it might be season 17 or 18, I don't know, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. It looked like Amaze was going to go past Bigsy there, but he did not do that. So that is him trying to defend really well past Amaze, who is known for the alternate strategy if you were watching last season. And Amaze definitely put on a show in USA, if you remember, where he got those tyres for quite a long time, still managed to hold on and just make some superb moves and battles I wonder if he's going to do the same again today. If he does, he may get the Showman Award. I may introduce awards for, like, obviously driver of the day, obviously the best showman and stuff like that, but it may just cause people to just play dirty on the track, and we don't want that. But Amaze is doing well so far, so I'm really, really happy with him so far as well on lap 6. Not many people's been in turn 12 actually yet. I think most people been either in turn 13 to 14 or in turn 1. So I think I've been there in every game. It's just usually different corners where people tend to bin it. I almost binned it in turn 12 in a league race I did about a month ago around this track, as Scary gets past, I think it's Scory, I don't know, gets past Alex, and we got yellow flag in sector 1 as, who is that? I don't even know who it was that. Sorry for jumping the cameras ever so slightly, but I saw Roberts was going to make a move on Jonah really well, but I did see someone go off, but I think it was a Renault that went off. I was a bit worried that it was Roberts, but actually it's not Roberts actually, because he's not on the Renault, but I thought it would have been LGS, but it wasn't. And I have to stop saying but. Delta saying he's so bad at this game. Don't worry, Delta. There's still 21 races still to go this season. Hopefully you can recover ready for next week, as we've got the two of the midfield runners still chasing on here for P9 and 2. And they've got a chasing Ferrari on their mist as well, right behind, or it might be a ghosted one, I'm not so sure. But we've got two Ferrari powered engines chasing the Mercedes power engine of the Williams. And I'd just like to point out, the Williams car definitely looks brilliant on this game, I've got to say, and also the AlphaTauri as well, and the new Merc as well. That looks pretty cool, which was in support of Black Lives Matter, I've got to say. So, quite a few people going into the pit lane, a lot of people going for the undercut, so I thought people go around about lap 9 as Tom, Roberts and Hawk go into the pit for a change onto the hard compounder tyres, or will they go to the mediums? They would go to the hards because they're not chancing it. They don't know when the rain is going to be falling, so they're going to treat it as if the whole race is dry, and then when it's raining, it does not matter. So where will they come out ahead of this man, Jonah? Jonah needs to get the best in-lap he can here, and he has got to respond to that. If he does not pit within the next few laps, he's going to be struggling on a tyre life a lot. So, you know, I mean, this is something to be very wary of the Alfa Romeo driver. Something I've got to get used to as well is the Alfa Romeo and obviously the AlphaTauri too, being two Alphas. So I just got to distinguish between the two. But you know what? So far, I'm doing a great job with that. So Jonah is going to go into the pits for sure, as LGS is 6/10 down the road on the tyres he pitted, I think, during the VSC. And Amazed is doing all he can as well. So everyone, I believe, has made a stop apart from the top 4 actually. So yeah, they have made it through the entirety of the race. My bad. As Jonah goes into the pits then for a change of hard tyres. A quick stop from the Haas team. Nice control there. And he goes out of the way there. And let's see, does the undercut work for Tom? He really does get really comfortably ahead of Jonah. But what about Humperdinck actually, who's already made a stop? He does get past Humperdinck, but he does not get past oh, he almost did, as he almost touched Humperdinck going into the entry into turn 2. And you got to be careful that the pit exit is quite narrow. That was where I retired in a league race, due to the fact that I came out of the pit lane. There was someone that was going towards turn 1. I had the inside line trying to defend, and it just did not work. So that was my race over and done with. But luckily, it was just a slight love tap in a way, and it didn't cause too many trouble and too many arguments there. So that means they can go on their merry race and carry on with the race. So we do have a yellow flag, and that is a Haas car, which was VRC going towards turn 8. You know, just past turn 8 now, actually now into turn 9. and 10. Bit of a lock up there, so he must be struggling for grip at the moment on those hard tyres. If there was a system that told me if there was damage, it would have been very helpful right now. I used it at the end of last season in Brazil, and I found that to be useful as VRC had binned it in turn 12, and I thought no one was going to bin it in turn 12 today. Guess what? The commentator's curse has struck once again here in AOR, and he is out of the race. I do apologise, VRC. Expect a lot of curses so far as Casey has been ghosted, and I think is about to be like. That's why you can see the Ferrari, as obviously Casey was stuck in trouble for quite a lot of the race. He had to pit a few times, and therefore he is lapped, and he obviously was limping with a damaged front wing after making contact earlier on in the race. So quite a few people making mistakes already, but due to the fact most people have now made their pit stops, it's now up to them really to not make too many mistakes as Alfio gets past Jam Pancakes, as Jam Pancakes struggled a little bit going towards the final corner then. So he may lose a bit of track position so far, and I wonder, because I think I'll need to double check with Pancakes at the end of the session. I wonder if he's using pad or a wheel, because so far, but we'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, he's really struggling with his right wing. His right front wing, is completely gone. So, and obviously he had a little bit of an incident earlier on, which again, I do not know if it was with JJ Rocks, but looking at the aftermath, it might have been from JJ Rocks, or it might have been from someone else. It may have been free wide, I don't know, but obviously free wide going into turn 13 just does not mix unfortunately, but let's hope that doesn't come into fruition so far. Now May's just getting a 3-second time penalty. Now I'll be on my own for the entire season, by the way, and for those of you that may have realised, I forgot to introduce myself. I usually introduce myself, but I forgot. But for those of you that you may recognise my voice anyway, I'm Jess, and hope you're all enjoying the action so far. We do have a yellow flag from the AlphaTauri of Pancakes due to his loss of downforce going into turn 13. So if I was him, maybe going into the pits would be the best option. It may put him way down the order. He's probably going to get lapped as well, which is a bit of a shame to start his title defence, of course. And another yellow flag in Z3 was probably for Pancakes again. But we still got LGS, Big Z, Amaze to pit, but these tyres can go out for quite a long time, and obviously they're just waiting for the rain. So they may try to have those tyre techniques to see if they can try and make it longer than 20 laps on the hard compounder tyres. That's what I would have tried and done. Pancake is in the pit, then he's still keeping going. And I believe he was serving his 5-second stop-go penalty, which I completely forgot where that happened. And it took a long time for the AlphaTauri team to change their front wing there. So that is very, very interesting for Pancakes. So I wonder if it may be something to do with the game or something else. But, you know, I'll find that out after the race, of course. So your net race leader is the guy who is in 4th position, but he's got Boberts right behind him, catching up soon as well. Really starting to pull hammer to the metal right now. So here we go. For some reason I was on board with a Mercedes car of Humperdinck, I think, or Maze, and then it said I was riding on board with Boberts for some weird reason. So that's why I've got a little bit of confusion. Alex, welcome to the chat, my friend. Say up the Amaze OT, and great to see you guys are supporting your drivers as Amaze trying to do his best to hold on to the inside line there, going towards the final corner again, doing what he did similar to USA. He's got the chasing prancing horse of Tom right behind him on a different strategy. So don't forget the top 3 yet to pit. Everyone else behind him has pitted. So, you know, traffic, getting used to traffic is an important part of sim racing. If you mess up and get holed up too much, it's gonna make the likes of Boberts say thank you very much. I can possibly try and get past now. Boberts with a swooping move to go towards turn 4, which was absolutely brilliant, and into turn 5 too. So Bobbert is going to try and see, you know what, if Tom can't do it, maybe I can get past Amaze. But Amaze is no mean feat. When he wants her position, he wants it very, very badly. And it will be very, very intriguing to find out what is going to happen towards these final few stages of the race. We're almost halfway in this race with a few laps time, as we have got, I think, Tom just right on the back of Bobbert as well, so maybe he could try and potentially get the position back from him. And that momentum sometimes may be lost from those drivers. Tom may think, oh no, I've been lost a position here, and what am I going to do? But you can't give up. You can't give up, really. With that, you just got to keep going. Make sure you're staying within the pace of these guys. One of these guys could make a mistake, as Bobber's had a little bit of a slide there, going into turn 3 and 4. Bobber's again trying to get past Amaze, and again he still could not do it. So Tom didn't do it earlier on. Bobbert didn't do it on this lap. So, well, he's got to get past them sooner or later, because the train of Humperdinck, Jonah, is starting to catch him. Maybe the Williams car of Scary as well, or Scory. I need to ask him how to pronounce his name as... Oh, that was awful as Amaze is out of this race. That definitely caught me off guard there. I was switching the camera very quickly there, and I just did not know what was going on there. So that's Amaze race gone, and it just shows handling traffic around here is very difficult. And I wonder, has Bobbert got any damage from that contact? I really do hope he does not. I don't think he has. I think he's gotten away with it. He's gotten away with it, and he stays out, and so does Tom. But that was very violent going into, I think it was turn 9 and yeah, it was actually turn 9 there where he got caught out as well. So that is a shame for SSR, Bobbert and Amaze to get involved with. But, you know, meanwhile, Big Z is going on the mediums. So one of the hard runners is deciding to go on it early. He's going to think that the rain is not going to come down hard enough to go onto the intermediate tyres. And someone got a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. I wonder if it was Big Z actually in the pit lane. I had that glitch before, and that was very annoying. So let me check race director actually. So let me go on to Big Z's name. Did he get a 5-second drive-through? No, he didn't. Who got that drive-through then? It didn't see who got that drive-through. I have to scroll all the way down. It was Alpha, actually. It wasn't Big Z. It was the Alfa Romeo of him. So, yeah, luckily Big Z did not get a penalty with that, because I remember I was racing in Belgium, and I did get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the safety car, but I was in the pits. But I think they fixed that now. And I was worried that the glitch would come back to haunt us in a way, but luckily it didn't. So, very relieving for Big Z, of course. Pancakes now is being promoted to P11, and that means he could still have a shot of getting in at the point. It's still possible for him. Now he is about a minute behind Alpha though. And Casey is still going. He is still going in the Ferrari despite being 2 laps down. That is commitment. That is commitment. Usually me, because I'm a slow person on this game, and I sometimes give up, but it just goes to show, do not give up. KC could still be in the points as well if some of the other guys up near the front do start to struggle as well. So, you know, I mean, that is very, 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 very interesting to see going on here. So I am very intrigued to find out what is happening with that. how Casey is just going on. Actually, no, it was just a timing glitch. I thought he was a minute down, and now he was 25 seconds away. Okay, that was interesting. But anyway, let's have a quick rundown of your order then so far. So, LGS leads the race with SSR Bobbert in P2. We've got AMS Tom in P3, Hawk in P4, and Humperdinck in P5, with 2 temps down the road from Hawk. He's under pressure with Jonna. Don't forget, Jonna did start P2 in this race, and he's already dropped quite a bit down the order already from where the others were, which was a bit unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo, but at least he's still plowing on with what's going on, of course. And you never know, he still can get that podium. Penalties are still yet to be applied. I have not checked penalties. I know I might have scrolled through, but I did scroll through to check what penalty, who got that drive-through penalty, because I originally thought it was Big Z, as Jonah almost did the same thing to what I think it was either Amaze or VRC did earlier on in the race. So yeah, luckily he saved the car just in time there. Jonah's on fresher tyres though compared to Humperdinck, so it should be easy pickings for the Alfa Romeo driver, but he is finding it hard. I don't think Humperdinck needs to pit again, so Jonah is going to be on tender hooks here. Actually, no, Humperdinck will have to pit again because the hards could only last 20 laps, but again, he's going to try and nurse those to the end. I do believe Humperdinck was the one who pitted lap 1, I believe. And here we go. Jonah trying to get the move on Humperdinck. There's a bit of a slide from Humperdinck there going into turn 1. And Humperdinck gets it. So brilliant stuff from him. And he's up there. He is doing ever so well to just try and hold on to these guys. I mean, you know, they're all doing so well, as Hawk gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there. That might promote Jonah up a few positions there. It may have all topped up on its head, the race here tonight. Don't forget, if you are liking the stream so far, don't forget to give us a like on the channel and also subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when to... Oh! What? Hawks just retired in turn 12. That was a nasty flip there. Oh my goodness. In real life, I hope that driver would be okay, because that would have been nasty. That definitely caught me by surprise, and we do have a safety car. So that has turned it on his head now. People up probably at the front will be going to the pit. LGS must be jumping for joy right now. He technically gets a free pit stop. If you pit under normal racing conditions, you would lose 22 seconds. In safety car conditions, you would lose only about 13-14 seconds. So LGS has timed it to perfection here. If he carries on with the way he does, he could be going on to win this race. Scory Raw stays out, trying to nurse those hards to the end. AMS Tom goes on the mediums. Bobbert goes on the mediums as well, but I thought they would have gone on the softs, because the lifespan of the soft compounded tyres, which are the C4s, are 12 laps. So, you know, I'm guessing that the optimum pace may have not been there, but we shall see, of course. And now a chance for these guys to really warm up those tyres now. And we got the guys up at the back as well to go and pit. Again, Hawk's work has been undone here. And the AlphaTauri department, obviously the AlphaTauri team, doing well in real life, but they're not doing so well here today. And obviously I've got a rev glitch from Alfio, so that's a bit of a shame. I think I've been pronouncing his name wrong all stream, which is very annoying. So I do apologise about that. I'm surprised. Will KC go into the pits as well? That would work wonders for him. Pancake's now in the points. He's still going. So obviously they're going to wait for all the drivers to catch up to the safety car. Obviously Casey being a lap down. So he's probably going to get caught up by some of the cars. So he's not going to have the advantage, whereas everybody else is a lap on the leading lap. So the safety car will probably come in around, I think, about in a lap's time, because almost, you know, or they might be waiting for Pancakes and Alpha. So obviously Pancakes is a lap down, so he's caught up in the middle of the battle with Jonah and Shazoo Humperdinck by the looks of things. So I think obviously he will get the blue flags, does Pancakes. So he'll be asking me about the way. Luckily with blue flags though, your car does get ghosted through the cars which are on the leading lap, which is I think a relief on this game, because if they turned ghosting off, then it would have caused a little bit more issues really, to be honest. And for those of you who just joined us, welcome along to Xbox One F1. And for those of you that just are wondering, why is it starting at 8, not 9 o'clock this season? Well, to make sure a lot more drivers could race in the top tier this season, Xbox One has been moved to the same time as all the other PC and PS4 tiers at 8 PM. The only exception being PS4, where they're still streaming at 7 PM UK time. You can watch those races back after the stream. Something I forgot to mention at the beginning of the stream, actually, because I know a few of you will be confused about why the Xbox One stream was starting an hour earlier, but that's always gonna be like for the entire season. And something which I think is gonna help me as well. That means I don't have to stay up too late, up so that I can get a decent night's sleep for work the next day, which is probably obviously a good thing. So I wonder when the safety car is going to come in, as I haven't had a notification pop up saying safety car in this lap. So I think it's going to stay a little bit more one more lap than intended. Whoa, my English words are not working tonight. That's probably because I'm on my own, and yeah, it's again quite hard to distinguish words at times, but hopefully I'm doing all right there as well. So LGS is going to be the one who controls the safety car restart in a lap's time, with them being on the soft tyres until the end now, unless the rain makes an appearance earlier than intended. That means they can last just a little bit longer than 12 laps, which means their optimum pace will last a bit longer as well. Tom and Bobbett's may drop it a bit, but their tyres won't be overheating as much. So to be honest, I don't know which strategy would be the one that will be winning this race or potentially get a podium. Let us know your thoughts in the chat, guys, who you think is going to be winning this race. And whoever wins this race will obviously be leading the championship. From next race onwards, I will be coordinating with the tier coordinators to get some interviews sorted for the drivers, because obviously I like to have some opinions from some of the drivers about how they thought the race went for them. Obviously I can't sort it out this race because I haven't got all the drivers added on Xbox, so you know, I will need to sort that out in races to come. So I will be sorting out for the next race, which is Bahrain. And Bahrain, I'm looking forward to Bahrain, actually. It should be a lot of fun. And we are about to get underway with the restart then. The safety car going in a bit earlier than intended, but it's up to LGS. He's holding up the field quite early on, actually. Hopefully he won't go too slow, because otherwise there's going to be lots of cars behind him, maybe just run into each other, and that might cause a 5-second penalty. But I do believe those 5-second penalties will get removed. So let's see what LGS can do. He's not used to those safety car restarts before. So LGS does come across the line now, and he nails that restart. 1.6 seconds already clear of Scory Raw. And Tom is trying to catch up to Scory Roar with Bobbert getting a really better run into turn 2 now. And then going into turn 3 now. Bobbert is going to take to the inside potentially. And does he get the cut back? He's going to try and defend for his life. Well, attack for his life, while Tom is going to be defending for his life. Whereas Tom is just saying, you know what, you're not having that position. See you later. Yes, as Tom is really going to be on the upper hand now. He's got Bobbers right ahead of him now. Right behind him, sorry. Again, my words getting a bit twisted once again. But let's see then. This train is just getting so big at the moment due to the fact that Scory Roar has been on those tyres for almost 20 laps now. The tyres are almost past their sell-by date, as it were. So that means a lot trickier for these guys to manage until the end of this race. Here we go then. Tom versus Bobbers. Oh my goodness. That was a big pile up there going towards the final corner. I think a few guys got to be careful there. Bobbers now is in the pit, and so is Jonah and Alfio. All three of those cars got caught up in that, and that was unfortunate, which means it promotes the likes of Alex and Shazoo Humperdinck up into 4th and 5th positions. They could still be getting a podium, and we've got another safety car. As for some reason, they are being allowed to overtake the safety car, but probably due to the fact that of how this was unfolding. If I was Pancakes now, maybe pitting on the soft would be the best idea. But we'll see. That was really sad from there. I think that just might have been a mistake. They get caught up and then he went into a little bit of a half spin there. But, you know, 2 safety cars. And it's getting quite dark already in Melbourne. So we could see some rain on the horizon. And it may prompt some of these guys to do a pit stop. We will have to wait and see. And it's going to be like a sprint to the finish. It's going to be kind of like 5-lap open lobbies, but let's hope they keep it just a little bit cleaner. And the reason why there was a little bit of a pause was I heard a little bit of a noise and I was wondering what it was, but I think we are okay. We are alive. So it's all good. I just heard a noise in my house. I was like, what on earth is that? But anyway, Tom has realised that the mediums may not be the best option as he got caught up in all that mess. So he's going on the soft and he's doing a change in front wing as well. I think he was forced to pit there as well, which is probably why he has done that. So there he goes. Tom in 6th place. So I think he's still where he was before. So I think we're just going to wait for all the cars to catch up once again. Now these guys can't make the same mistakes as they did before. They just can't. They just got to keep it a little bit cleaner. Guys, it's only the first race, you know. You can't go for greedy moves like that. I know you may want the podium, but points is better than no points. And we could see people on puncher territory. Scory Roar still out. And I'm just worried for him. I think he's just waiting for the rain to come. He's the only driver yet to make a stop. He has to stop. Otherwise, the game will disqualify him for the race. Let me just have a look, actually. Actually, no, he has made a stop. Yeah, he has made a stop. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that. I thought he didn't stop. Obviously, 21 laps and now on lap 24. I should have done basic maths here. So the safety car, I believe, is staying out for another lap, which I'm quite surprised about. The person who's got the fastest lap so far, who will get the extra World Championship point, will be LGS 469 in the McLaren. But there's still people that could stop him from getting that, as almost every single person is on the soft compounder tyres. So it could be anyone's game here as well. And to be honest, I know I can see it getting darker. I just don't think the rain is going to come down hard enough for these guys to pit again. And it's probably going to be too late as well. As I was discussing? No, I didn't mean disgusting. Discussing earlier on in the session, I don't think it's just going to come hard enough. And it's going to be too late for them to pit. They're going to lose so much time. So they're going to just have to make do with what they had. And we may see a few more spinners, I don't know. I just do not want to jinx anything with these guys. I mean, this is going to be very intense final couple of laps. And for those of you that are watching, I hope you're all going to be sitting back. Maybe you've got your little bit of your popcorn there as well, which is what I'm going to be doing very soon as well. Let's just see what happens then. Safety car in this lap then. Very early, actually. I think it was towards about turn 11 and then into turn 12, but there we go. So, LGS leads the fill away again. He had a very good restart last time. Let's see if he has a better restart this time. He's got to. He's got to, because otherwise it could cost him. I think the only challenger for him at the moment, I think, would be, I think, Humperdinck. Almost certainly. But we'll have to find out. We've got 5 or 6 more laps to go of this Australian Grand Prix. Who's going to come out on top today? We'll have to find out, as LGS has got a smashing restart across the line. Already 1.5 seconds of a scory roar. But let's see what Alex Daegu can do heading towards turn 1. Let's see if turn 1 is a lot cleaner compared to previous turn 1s in the safety car conditions. And we've got penalties left, right and centre heading into turn 1. So I probably jinxed that already, as we've got Alfo trying to get past his teammate Jono, as well as a few of the lap cars trying to move out the way as well. So again, that might cause a hindrance with some of the guys who are on the leading lap, of course. I know they're ghosted, but they're very, very off-putting. They're very off-putting for me when I'm racing, but most of the time I am the back marker, so yeah, you know, but it may be off-putting for some of the drivers as well. As AMS Tom, last week's pole sitter, has made contact with Roberts. That is not how you take turn 9. I think Tom or Roberts got a little bit too greedy there and sent both of them into a spin. So that's pretty much their, I think, Tom's chance. I think Tom can still get a point, as KC is a lap down, but chance getting more points will be slipped away. So he was hoping to get the win here today, but unfortunately I did not help him. I think Tom got away with lighter damage. Meanwhile, Bixie made a really good move on Humperdinck there into the final corner. He's now up into P4, so it's nice to see a Ferrari doing well on this game. Shame it's not like this in real life. But we've got one of the Ferraris not doing so well, down in last place, but again, still going. I will have to give him the Endeavour Award today, because he's just still working so hard. And I think all the cars are still going, so I think it just might have been a little bit of a tap there. I think it just went to a spin, but it didn't go into the wall. And that's what happened. So, a few more laps to go. I'm just watching Scurry's tyres now. Or Scory. I'll need to ask him at the end of this race, actually, how you pronounce it. He may have me on Twitter, actually, so I know I keep asking a lot of times about that, but the Williams driver, I'm going to call him. But anyway, he is still holding well to just hold on to that. And I think, and it is raining on the circuit. I was just riding on board with Scurry Raw there, and yep, there is rain. So maybe he will. I think it's not gonna come down hard enough for the Inters. There's no way. The pit loss is 22 seconds. There's just no point in pitting right now. DRS is enabled to cut-off point usually when to pit onto the inters is when it says DRS disabled. As Bobbert does set the fastest lap of this race in these types of conditions, but we shall see. And it'll be amazing if he makes it. It'll be amazing if he makes it. He is just doing ever so well. I think maybe the safety car up here have helped him, because obviously you're not going full race trim, and there was 2 safety cars, and there was quite a few virtual safety cars during the race as well. So that's why the stints were stretched a few laps as well, so he could do it. And let me just get the gap for interval now at the moment. Let's see then. Alex still not able to get past. I think it may be down to the dirty air as well, which may be costing him a few temps, as I thought I saw one of the Ferraris having a bit of an issue, but luckily it was okay. You can see Alex and Scary going side by side into turn 15, with Scary while defending for his life. There was a bit of contact there. Oh my god, there's contact. Huge contact. With Big C making contact with Scary Raw and Jono as well. DRS disabled. The wet conditions are starting to be a hindrance for some of these guys. So the laps are going to be incredibly longer now. And I'm predicting P2. Who would have thought it? And then we got Alex going to go into P3 potentially if he can get past Big C. Big C struggling there as well. We got yellow flag. That almost was an unsafe rejoin there. I think there'll be quite a few steward inquiries going in after the race, but again we'll have to wait and see. I think, to be honest, if I was Scary Raw, I would have not defended that. I would have let people through because you're on obviously older tyres, but again you're a racer at heart. You want to be going for position here. Bobber's now back up into P3 after all this mess. You know, that just goes to show never give up after that. Hopefully we will get some cleaner racing next week. I do promise you that. But the rain has definitely flipped it on his head. But LGS still managing to drive like it's dry. Properly dry. I mean, he's doing ever so well. Even if he's got penalties, it may not affect him. Alfio has spun as well with Big C. So what is going on with the midfield there? I think they're just not liking those intermediate conditions, and there's people just tuning in right at the wrong time as we're about to end the stream, but it is drama unfolding on your very eyes at the moment. LGS, that safety car worked wonders for him, and yeah, he drove slowly towards the end there, but he didn't have to go fast. His rivals were struggling. He didn't put a foot wrong here today. LGS wins his first race in Xbox One Tier 1, and he wins the first race of the season. Humperdinck, a magnificent drive for him to take P2. Gained 2 positions there. Alex gaining the last podium spot, with Bobbers miraculously going up into P4, but that because of penalties, that drops him down into P7. That means Tom getting P4 there. And I'm sure he'll be happier with that, despite getting involved in incidents, but he would have wanted P1 at heart. So Alfio 5th, Big Z 6th, Robert 7th, Scary Raw in 8th place, and then we've got Jonah, who is in 9th, and we're just waiting for Pancakes to come across the line, and he's damaged his right front wing there. So that is going to be taking a while there, but you know, Pancake's getting a point, and KC gets the Endeavour awarded today for still trying and racing, even if you're lower down the grid. Fair play, well done, and at least you're learning a lot, even just racing at the back. So that is well done. And I've just got an achievement there. Anyway, driver of the day has got to be LGS, which has just popped up on screen, and I can see LGS looking so happy there in the chat. Yeah, that's what I would be happy if I was him. He drove superbly today. So the in-game driver of the day was LGS, and I've got to give driver of the day to LGS as well. I mean, who would have thought he got a win this soon into the season? I've written him off originally, but now I'm not going to write him off. I'm going to say he could be the one to watch this season if we have conditions, safety cars, the lot. He could be the one to challenge for the title. So LGS is my driver of the day there. So here are your race results then. The fastest lap inside the top 10 does go to Bobbert, so he gets an extra point. So well done to him. So LGS wins from Humperdinck. Then we got Alex in third, AMS Tom in fourth, Alfio in fifth, Big Z in sixth, Bobbert's in seventh, Scowy Raw in eighth, Jonah in ninth, and Pancakes taking up the last point, with Casey in 11th being your last finish. And your non-finishers is quite a lot actually. Hawk, Amazed, VRC, GC, JJ Rocks, and Delta. So what a race it has been for Xbox Tier 1. We hope you enjoyed it today. I definitely did. It was just a lot of fun just to race, to watch these guys racing for the very first time. And there was a few questionable instances, quite a lot actually. And hopefully these get sorted for the next race, which is Bahrain. Just expect a lot of DRS trains in the next race. But I remember commentating on the Bahrain Grand Prix last season. It was the first race of the season, I believe, in season 19, or it might be, I can't remember which it was, but it was absolutely fantastic. Jam Pancake got his first win in Tier 1. It was just action from start to finish, from lights out. So I hope we get exactly the same next week. So we are just going to quickly, before we wrap up for the broadcast, we're just going to quickly go through the calendar for this season. So obviously now we were in Australia. So next week we go to Bahrain. On the 20th of September, we go to the newest track on the F1 calendar, which is Vietnam. Then we go to China on the 27th of September. On the 4th of October, we go to another new track, Zandvoort in the Netherlands. On the 11th of October, then we go to Spain. Then we go to Monaco. On the 1st of November, we go to Azerbaijan. We just got a little bit of a week, 2 weeks break after Monaco. On the 8th of November, we got Canada. Then we got France on the 15th of November. 22nd of November, we got Austria. 29th of November, we got Great Britain. 6th of December, we got Hungary. 30th of December, we got Belgium. The 3rd of January, we got Italy. 10th of January, we got Singapore. The 17th of January, we got Russia. 24th of January, we got Japan. Then we got United States, Mexico, Brazil, and then Abu Dhabi. So there's basically running the full 22 race calendar. 1 race down, 21 to go. And hopefully you guys will join me for every single one of the remaining 21 races, just like you did tonight. And if you're watching it back, maybe you want to join us, maybe you can. So thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure commentating on the Xbox One F1 League. I've been JessGames95, and we will see you same time next week, 8 PM BST. Remember that, because I know a few of you joined midway, towards the end of the stream, thinking it will start at 9. So keep that new time in your diaries, ladies and gentlemen. 8 PM UK time for Xbox One Tier 1. And yeah, have a good rest of your evening, everybody. I'll let you do what you need to do. Ta-ra. Bye.